Good morning, Grand Rapids. How are you today? Here we are, another beautiful morning. Beautiful opportunity. Beautiful way to look at life when you take a look at the opportunities that sometimes you've been given. Here you are, waking up this morning, taking a look at a beautiful, beautiful Grand Rapids or wherever you might be. Whether you have a lot of pain, a lot of worries, whether you're stressed out, whether you're sick, whether you're feeling lonely, whether you're having a relationship struggle, a business struggle, a life struggle, one of the things that I can tell you is that if you take a look back at your life and everything you've gone through, you know that things will eventually change. It depends on what you decide to do in your life. It depends on what decisions you decide to make. It depends on what it is that is your struggles that you're struggling with today. Perseverance. Good morning, Grand Rapids. Good morning, everybody. Perseverance is really important in our lives. The reason why that is because this is the only life we have. We don't have another one. We don't have another opportunity. Today, if you take a look at that sunrise, sooner or later, after a few hours, that sunrise is also going to go and become a sunset. And every single moment of our lives, every single minute, second matters. A lot of the time, we are tired. We're under a lot of pain. A lot of the time, we start doubting ourselves. A lot of the time, we start doubting the person we're with. A lot of the time, we start doubting our business partners or whatever it might be, because as things are changing, things get looked upon differently. And you still have to make those decisions, because ultimately there is no such thing as a road end, because you can always take any detours or any other aspect of way to get around that, because obstacles will be there in your life no matter what. See, obstacles is part of life. Obstacles is part of us learning on everything we go through each day. Nobody said that it would be easy. Take a look at how all of these buses are taking off at the same time. I'm glad that I was able to capture that. I'm glad that I was able to capture the fact that no matter what the obstacles are, no matter what it is that's happening in our community and in our lives, so far these buses have not stopped running. They keep on going each day. And these bus drivers, they show up through COVID, they show up through bad weather, they show up through good weather. They are here transporting every single one of us to wherever it is that we gotta go. Perseverance through life. Each and every single one of us have a hardship. Believe me, I know. Each of every single one of us have doubts at times. Each and every single one of us get tired sometimes. And sometimes appearances of things can actually get you to be confused also. See, that's the reason why the whole fake media thing and whatever, leaving you in limbo, they give you the right and then the wrong and whatever, and then they leave you hanging for you to make your own decision. But ultimately, here is where it's at. Here, inside of you. Here, in your brain. What is it that makes you happy? What is it that makes you feel complete? What is it that will get you to the point where you're going to love life the way that you should love life? What is it? What changes do you need to make for you to actually realize how important today is for you? See, we all screw up. We all do. One way or the other. We're not perfect. Sometimes we don't even recognize it until later, until with time we do. If you take a look back at how many screw-ups you've done, I've done, it's ridiculous how many screw-ups I've done. And some things I've learned from, some I haven't. Yet, still, through life, I still have to take a look at that sunrise. I still have to take a look at myself in the mirror each morning, and I still have to go ahead and know that I have to persevere. I know that the goal is big. I know that the goal of my Boss Cafe to go throughout the state of Michigan and anywhere else. I know about the employees. I know about the everything that I got to go through. And sometimes are things that are not even of my own fault that I have to make sure that they get followed through. Why? Because imagine how many jobs get created because of it. And it's hard. It's difficult. Sometimes it'd be easier just to go ahead and say, you know what? I just give up. Be done. But it can't happen because that's not in my vocabulary. That's not in my mindset. I know what the goal is. I know what the purpose is. And for all of you out there, I have gotten to meet so many people with trigeminal nerve pain lately. And they're still struggling, they're still working through it, and they're still trying to figure out what works. I can tell you from gummies work. I can tell you that I take sometimes I take coffee with THC in it, and it works. It helps me out. I can tell you deep breathing, sometimes letting go and just meditating, it works. Temporarily, but it works. So into those struggles of this pain that comes out of nowhere, and sometimes you can't even walk or talk or move, all of a sudden you start taking a look at it as, is my life worth it? Of course it is. Perseverance. See, sometimes in relationships also, it's two worlds, two mindsets, two different lives, two different everything coming together to meet into one point to make one world. My father told me that a long time ago. Son, when you have a relationship, when you have a wife, your wife is your world. You have a full circle, your wife and kids is your world, until your kids turn 18 and they move out of that circle of your home. But you're still a family. See, sometimes it's hard to continue trying to work things out with somebody that might be different than you, but you didn't know it until you start getting to meet that person. But it's worth the perseverance to be able to be with that person and love that person enough to where you know that you can make it work, because it also takes two, not just one. That's what happens in relationships. Sometimes we give up. And sometimes we give up based on emotions, and that's a problem. Life itself, I can tell you that we are here, we're breathing, we're living one day at a time. Some of us are homeless, some of us have a job, some of us have a business, some of us have a career, some of us are students, some of us we don't even know what we want to do, yet we're still here on this earth. And one of the things that actually have to work for you is to persevere through the bad, make it through the good. How long is the bad things happening? Well, it all depends. See, sometimes because things hurt so much, or sometimes because the pain is so much, or the actual aspect of emotions, we allow negative emotions and negative pain and everything to go through for too long. And because of it, then our health starts deteriorating. And what happens is that we ourselves are causing that because we ourselves have control over our own bodies. And so when it comes down to all of it and all of it and all of it, remember that you have to stay alive. You have to be part of this ecosystem, of this world, no matter where you might be at. You're still alive. And the thing is that while you're still alive, if you don't value your own life, if you don't value your own way of thinking, your own perspective, your own future, your own success, who else is going to do it? Who else is going to go ahead and look after you if you don't do it yourself? Perseverance is really important. You got to take away all that doubt that sometimes comes with negativeness or with pain and illnesses, or somebody did you wrong or whatever. You got to let that go. And you got to figure out, wow, what kind of decisions can I make to make my life better today? And that's part of that whole ordeal of life perseverance. It's not easy. Being in this earth is not easy. Many people will tell you that it's hell, but it doesn't have to be hell. Could be fun, could be interesting, could be very, very good for us to build that character that we want to build, but also remember that all of that goes away when we die. And it's important for us to also teach that to future generations. Imagine how much stronger these future generations could have been or could be if we just decided to go ahead and start teaching those values and those perspectives of strength, respect, and value yourself and continue moving forward and persevere. It's important for us to start taking a look at our own lives and deciding, what is it that I got to do next? It's important. Take care of you today. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.